This is Bev Cummins. I am recording live Flower Rhymes or Learning Times, Part 2. And this is the Jazzy Jasmine. The Jazzy Jasmine is known as a flower from exotic lands. If you pick up a jasmine, the smell is on your hands. We know it as a named cartoon character we see, a delicate and fragrant sight from a land far from me. It grows in warmer weather and will blossom there. It is a perennial that puts a special scent in the air. If you take time with your flowering plant care, you grow this mostly white, pink, or violet bloom. Its oils scent is used in tea, makeup, and perfume. And there's the Jazzy Jasmine. Pretty little white flower. The next flower rhyme poem is a Black-Eyed Susan, and it's kind of daisy. Black-Eyed Susans are wallflowers that seem to appear. Common wildflowers you find from year to year. A type of tall daisies that are of a particular kind. The centers that are purple and brown and dark. The middle of this flower has a bee-like mark. They are flowers that you shouldn't keep around pets. They are poisonous in spite of the beauty you will get. You often see them in a meadow or green field or on roadsides waving, showing their flower yield, which means you'll see a lot of them. They're like on long stems and they're just kind of waving in the wind. The next rhyme poem is a cactus flower. Not everywhere does the center cactus flower grow. Some have the ability to bloom in their power. Even in the desert, this flowering plant does bloom. Outside in the dry and hot weather or in a greenhouse room, you can see it bloom. It can bloom in the home if conditions are right. Little water, a cooler place, and enough light. It takes a lot to grow a cactus flower. You have to have very specific conditions. We got to see one bloom at our local arboretum, and it was quite beautiful. And cactus flowers just bloom once in a great while. Conditions have to be perfect. The amenable amaryllis is like one of those amaryllis flowers that you see at Christmas, but that's a red and white one. The amenable amaryllis is a bulb seen in winter time, indoors where it's warm inside and conditions are sublime. They are given as gifts in the bulb form, and then they are planted and then bloom in warm brown, and when a lily-looking flower in shades of white, red, and pink in a flower pot that is well drained will grow in a wink. Also, they are given in bloom to brighten up a winter room. In a flower pot, these continuing beautiful flowers will go on and bloom. And you can grow an amaryllis. They're not hard to grow. And put it outside and then watch it grow. The close crocus, close is meant to mean like close to the ground. Close. The close crocus is not usually seen in a flower vase. Although pretty and purple, it doesn't fit in that space. You see other colors that come up in spring to walk past. You plant them in the fall and they multiply fast. They are mostly purple and over other flowers do not tower. They grow from a small bulb and produce a short flower. It is said to be one of the easiest perennial flowers to grow. So look for more than one crocus and look down low. And there's your crocus. These flowers were taken pictures of by Lisa Durante, and she calls herself La Plant Whisperer on Facebook. And it's Lisa Durante Seigel. Delicious Dandelion is the next flower line poem. And some people consider these pesty, but some people really like them to eat. The delicious dandelion are on many of a lawn, a yellow face staring at you that is not easily made gone. Generally not a favorite that you keep around. People cut them and leave them on the ground. It does not growl, but it has a lion's face. It has much to add to just about any grassy place. Can be a tea, an herb, or a wine, or put in a salad. Has so many uses, you could write a ballad. You need to know that many medicines may interact, and it causes reactions with those medicines, in fact. So you need to learn more about these flowers than are just in these poems. There's plenty of information you can pick up on the internet or from books. This is just to get you interested in them and looking at them differently. This is a climbing wisteria. And there's like a Chinese climbing wisteria. A climbing wisteria vine that hangs from up above, usually violet, white, or pink. What's not to love? Beautiful flowers hanging like a bunch of grapes. Outside, they seem to hang like drapes. It may take several years to bloom, and it will grow. For many, it is worth waiting for the blossoms to show. Some Chinese types do then grow so aggressively. Too much wisteria is spread over all that you see. It needs pruned or cut back over the years as it grows. Then it has lovely hanging blossoms that it shows. It needs lots of water and rich soil to get nourished, and it needs full sun exposure at times to get it to flourish. And there's that beautiful wisteria. And Lisa grew a lot of these in her greenhouse or with her green thumb to take pictures of them. The Regal Rose is the next rhyme poem. It's probably my favorite flower. The Regal Rose is a flower that is either bush, climbing plant, or shrub that you want to last. The types come from the DNA of the original European or Asian roses that have been grown over the past. They are colorful and symmetrical with up to 60 petals that are beautiful to see. They grow by cross-pollination from the wind, butterfly, or bee. They have the sweet scent and are prized as symbols of love and honor through the past to this time. The colors have a language of their own, a reason and a rhyme. They need pruned and fertilized to grow and flower, and different types of soil, water, and light are needed to sow them to grow. And that's a rose. And these are very favorite spring flowers. The timely tulips. The timely tulip shows its beauty in the spring, we know. It takes bulbs from fall to spring to grow. The tulips first came from ancient Asian lands, but now we think of it as coming from Holland. They grow from the bulb in remarkable ways, so we can see their 3 petals opening many days. They turn sugar into sunlight and feed the plant its feed. A process called photosynthesis is a big word indeed. but it means the plant gets enough food for it to bloom, so we can have them in our garden or our room. And if you read these poems again and again, you will find you know these facts about these flowers. You will get to know, like, which ones grow in which conditions, because part of that is in the poems. So it's really fun to read rhymes again and again, the purpose being to learn the fun facts that are in them. The genial geranium is a perennial. And there you go. The genial geranium is a perennial we often see. It is often easy to grow if from winter weather we are free. The colors that are many can be enjoyed, often in hanging baskets, and we aren't annoyed. Shades of blue and reds, and they have stems that are green. They are known to be toxic for dogs and cats to eat. They have multiple blooms whose scents are sweet. So grow geraniums from cuttings or from seeds. You will find their beauty is what a garden needs. Nice colors. But you have to be careful and learn what flowers can be around animals. The lily is the next flower poem. And it's a, pure white lily kind of flower. The lily is a flower that makes you think of white. Purity is the meaning of the flowers in sight. Actually, there are many colors and sizes known. You probably see lilies many days you don't own. They are grown by planting the bulb underground. They come up and produce beauty to be around. They are given as gifts and during spring holidays. They are easy to grow and nice to give away. They have a fragrance that is used in perfumes and sachets, and mostly should be removed and stored in a cool place. And there you go. Lily is like an Easter flower. The gladiola is the next rhyme poem, and that happens to be my picture of a gladiola in my yard, because I love my gladiolas. A gladiola flower is from a bulb that is underground, produces a tropical-looking stem that have tropical flowers that are bound. You are to store the bulbs in the winter on the inside. I don't do that. They come up on their own. Or leave them in the ground to see if they grow. Shades of white, yellow, and red blooms will show. You can use them as cut flowers in many kinds of vases. They're very tall flowers with lots of blooms on them. Or enjoy it in your garden as they put smiles on many faces. Beautiful, tall arrangement flowers. I have yellow ones, orange ones, purple ones. It depends. And the next rhyme poem, and the last rhyme poem in Flower Rhymes Are Learning Times, this edition, is the opulent orchid. And there's a picture of a white orchid. But, orchid can be orchid, like a light purple orchid. An opulent orchid is a delicate-looking exotic flower. Its sweet scent attracts bees for their pollinating power. The colors of the blooms are almost translucent. In the traditional look of a corsage with a scent, the flowers are sometimes harder to grow than others are to grow, but the results are worth it for the blossoms to show. White and violet flowers are the ones we know best. Wild orchids grow in England, just like the rest. And there we have a lilac on the back of this edition of Flower Rhymes Are Learning Times, part of the Rhymes Are Learning Times series. I am very pleased to have read all my books to you now, I am working on a new book that I will be recording when I can, after I write it. And I will see if there are any other books that I can read on this channel that I have not written in the next couple weeks. This is Bev Cummins. My books are on www.blurb.com, and there's information on this website on how to get to my books. My books are very inexpensive. They come in e-form and also hard copy form in the cheapest way that I can get them, as far as being able to distribute them. I think it's really important that kids learn to love to read, and this is my a contribution to children loving to read. Please read rhymes, please read every day. Read my books, read somebody's books, and enjoy it, and the enjoyment will never go away. This is Bev Cummins. Thank you.